Now let's get lively.
UFC 288.
Run us through it.
So, I'm just going to go through from the top 3 fights here. But in the first 2 fights, we have a Gracie, Chrome Gracie, fighting at featherweight. And we got Bryce Mitchell fighting some dude who's 16-0. So, that's going to be interesting to see.
It's good to see how Bryce Mitchell bounces back. Hopefully he comes back in better spirits than the last time. I feel like that was his first loss in his last fight, and he just made a bunch of excuses and doesn't look good.
Yeah, definitely made a bit of a fool of himself after that, for sure.
Yeah, just accept your losses and fucking come back.
Yeah, but it'd be good to see if he recovered from that loss, or if he's
still complaining about it. Yeah,
the dude that he fought to beat, fucking can't remember his name, but fucking.
And he's also fighting somebody who's got an O, so maybe he's being fed to the fucking wolves now.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Fight before the co-main, we have Jessica Andrade versus Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan. I don't know how the fuck to say that name. I don't really know much about either of these fighters. You guys?
Jessica Andrade. That's like she fought Rose. She's one that dropped her on her head.
Yeah.
Gave it the Hadouken. The Kobe. Just straight onto a fucking skull. Yeah, I don't know this other person. I feel like Jessica went up in weight recently, so she's a bit small for the division, but she's been doing well. Other than Thurston Shevchenko, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes.
Well, alrighty, let's move on to the co-main. We got Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns.
Got Gilbert. I don't like that Bilal Muhammad dude. He's a bit cringy.
Yeah, too much talk.
Yeah, what's he done for how much he talks? He got poked in the eye by Leon Edwards and cried shut up.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do anything. Oh, fuck, go Ned. I haven't seen anything too memorable out of him, to be honest. Like I watch the UFC, I follow it, but I'm not like a diehard UFC fan, but I don't know, he's done nothing that's really particularly caught my eye, and Burns is coming into, I believe it's his 3rd fight in 4 months.
Yeah, quick turnaround for Burns. He was
a fucking beast.
When did Burns fight last? 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, he fought...
I feel like Masvidal at 80.
Yeah.
Was it 87?
Yeah, so it was maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month ago at the max.
Yeah, and then who did you fight before that? Was it Wonderboy or something?
No, fucking lit. Shemaev.
Oh, Shemaev, yeah.
So, I mean, fucking not coming off easy fights either. Coming off big fights.
Yeah, because I seen something through the week about that. He was like Bilal wanted it. I don't know. I think it was somewhere near middleweight instead of welterweight or something like that. And Burns was like, I'm not giving you no fucking favors. We fight at welterweight, or we don't fucking fight.
Burns is a beast, I like Burns. Yeah, hopefully. I feel like Burns will get it done. I feel like he'll just be too much, but I'm hoping being in and out of camp, and having so many fights so close isn't like a bit too much for him.
I feel like he didn't really take too much damage in his last fight.
No, not really. I just mean you need rest, and he does real high intensity training. Yes, if you ever watched the training videos of him on YouTube or anything.
Not particularly, no, but you can tell he's he's always in fucking shape.
Yeah,
he's not one of them fighters that's like a Paddy Pimblett or that you see blown up between fights or whatever. When you see him at events and shit, he always looks like he could be fucking the backup for any welterweight fight.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Fuck Bilal.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Gilbert, and then I feel like if he wins this fight, it's long enough break if Leon doesn't intend on fighting again till October or whatever it is in Abu Dhabi. It proves you know, he's earned that number one contender spot, so to speak.
Well, yeah.
And then you got a good 6 months rest between now and potentially fighting for the title.
Yeah. How do you think he'll get it done? I reckon Burns by submission because Bilal's like a wrestler, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Burns' jiu-jitsu and shit is going to be too much, especially with him being as active as he's been.
Yeah.
And like, even though he's lost to Chimaev, that was fucking like a tight fight. And like, yeah, like Chimaev's no fucking joke. He's strong as fuck.
Yeah, well, he took him down once and he's known for his wrestling. And then he was like, no, I had to get back up. Like, he was just throwing all this crazy shit at me on the ground and I just had to get away from it.
So, like, yeah, like hasn't been in fights with slouches over the last
probably like 5 years. He's been fucking near the top for a while now.
Especially the last run that he's had, like just going off his last 3 fights.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in there with slouches, so I feel like his experience, activity.
George.
Like, even like, yeah, George is at the end of his career, but like, he still had that ability to not really match Burns on the ground, but still put him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Burns' activity, the people he's fought, it's just going to be, he's going to be in too good a fighting condition for allowed to stick with for 5 rounds, especially with his like jiu-jitsu ability.
Yeah.
And he's got a huge amount of weight still to lose, something like 12 pounds or some shit like that.
Bilal does.
Yeah.
Got to make weight, Bilal. Been talking a lot of shit. Anyway, is that the main?
That's the co-main.
No, it's co-main.
Who's the main?
So, but the main we got Sterling versus Cejudo. I'm gonna go make another coffee because I'm not really an educated fucking person on this subject. You guys have been watching UFC for much longer than I have, so one of you guys hit it, and then we'll do some predictions before we move into the Canelo stuff.
I want Sterling because fuck Cejudo, but
yeah, 100% fuck Cejudo.
But I also want to see Cejudo fight the people he mentioned in that thing I brought up in Believe It or Not. So like it's,
I feel like Cejudo's gonna get it done. I feel like
I'm sorry to cut you off, Griff, but I'm not a big Sterling. I'm not a big Sterling fan, so I don't really care about the result too much.
Well, to be honest, it sounds like you guys kind of are. It sounds like you're a Team Sterling. Pretty hard.
Well, I just hate the shit that Cejudo has said in the past. Like, I want to see him get smashed, but I don't care where the title ends up.
Yeah. Well, like, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put all the talking aside and let's just look at like ability. Who do you see getting it done?
Probably Cejudo.
Yeah. That's the way I'm with it too. Like, they're both cringy. So to me, I just look at it from the standpoint where it's like, I don't like either of them at all. I don't care where it goes.
I don't like the shit Cejudo says, and I don't like the way Sterling first got the title. So I couldn't give a fuck. But fuck Cejudo. But
well, whoever wins, it just kind of like, it's the same style, just different size. So whoever wins it, like, the people I want to do well in the division aren't going to do well in division with them as champions.
Yeah, and if, like, I don't know, did you see that photo of Sterling next to McGregor at all? That, like, yeah, and I think Sterling said like, oh, maybe I am a featherweight or some shit. So
yeah, big boy, man.
I feel like he could move up.
Yeah, I feel like you'll probably will see him move up because that little his little mate, I don't know what's that dude named, the little like pocket rocket dude that didn't stop for 25.
Oh fuck, I can't remember his name. I'm sure Ned would be more.
Yeah,
Ned would know, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, they fight in the same division and they're like close friends. And I also feel like Sterling doesn't want that smoke. So I feel like you could see Sterling going up for like double champ potentially, and then if he keeps it, he'll just stay at that division.
Yeah, and Cejudo has said that he has the same plan.
I feel like it's a bad move for Cejudo though. I feel like
Cejudo said he wants to go fight Alexander the Average, so like he's got the same plans. I don't feel like they're both going to stick around at 135. So I couldn't really care where the title ends up on ability. I'd probably say Cejudo gets it done with all of his credentials and whatnot that he's got, but like Sterling is huge between fights. So like he has the ability to rehydrate very fucking well.
Yeah, and he does rehydrate well. He never looks too bad on like fight night. But like Cejudo's going to put a pressure on him. Like I don't know, Cejudo's much smaller, but then I look at people that he does work with, and it's like, oh yeah, he's used to working with dudes that are like well bigger than Sterling are.
Yeah, and it like I suppose people will pick Sterling because he's bigger, but like, are you looking at the same prospect as Volk versus Lamb? Like everyone expects the bigger man who's probably going to be more dominant because of his strength and how he's dominated that division.
Yeah.
But then
Well,
you get
yeah.
then you get this smaller dude who actually knows how to do it, but like it's not the same because Volk's been active, but Cejudo's like been off. But everyone's going, "Oh, this little dude, he hasn't been, sort of as active. Sterling should be able to beat him."
Yeah. I mean, he's been training, he just hasn't been fighting. I don't feel like he's gonna have like ring rust. I feel like Cejudo's just a safe bet. I don't know. I never. If he didn't beat DJ and like have the run that he did, I'd probably be like, yeah, this dude. But like, yeah, and then coming back, like he's got to have a reason to come back. Like you're not gonna come back being all confident if you just like been sitting on a lounge for like a couple of years. And then I seen him working with Jones, and I'm like, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think that's the defining factor in this, in the sense that, like, when he went away, he expected everyone to just sort of be like riding his dick forever because of what he achieved. But he faded into obscurity in a matter of a couple of years.
People
And I
move
think
on,
that
bro.
really, no, but I think that really pissed him off. So, like, I think that is like sort of, that's his reason for coming back, in the sense that he's like, oh yeah, you don't think I'm that fucking good, which is a dangerous person.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure, and he is that good. That's how he got to where he is. Like,
Exactly, which is why you fucking hate him so much,
like,
because he's such a fucking painful cunt to deal with. But you can't
like,
it's he's literally the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. Like, you can't deny his skill, but I'll be fucked if I want to listen to him talk for more than 30 seconds.
yeah. If he didn't carry on, I'd like him. I'd actually like the bloke as a fighter and whatnot. Like, I like. It's hard to say, I suppose, without sounding like contradictory, but like I like his style and that, but I just don't like him as a person.
Hey,
Sort
you
of
can say that about a lot of fighters.
like sort of thing. He's all right. Some of the shit that he says, I'm like, oh yeah, but then like he just says other shit, and I'm just like, can't just forever keep your mouth fucking shut.
yeah. I feel like he,
like I don't want to hear it.
I feel like he puts it on a bit, but then at the same point in time, he's also just like a real cringy dude. So I feel like it's just double. Like he's getting hit with a double pseudo.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of those things that, like, it's at least like Colby Covington, for instance. Everything Colby Covington does is a fucking act. Apparently, he's completely different outside of that. Like, when Cejudo opens his mouth, you can't tell if what he's saying is this just a bad joke that you're trying to make, or is this really you?
Yeah, yeah. It's just him like exaggerated, I reckon. But well, how do you reckon the fight's gonna go, Ned?
It's fucking hard to say, man. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 fight. I still lean more towards Cejudo, as much as I hate to say it. But, like, I don't know. There's a lot of factors. There's the attitude that he comes in with. It's like I said a couple of weeks ago, man. If he goes in there with the attitude of, this is a dangerous man that's in front of me and I need to focus and get the job done, Cejudo will win. If Cejudo walks in there with the idea in his head of, oh, I'm Henry Cejudo and nobody's ever fucking been better than me, then Sterling will probably overpower him, or, like, I don't know. I just think he definitely has the skills to get the job done. He needs to be focused, though. This is somebody that can take it away from him given the opportunity.
Yeah, that's fucking good take on it, I reckon. Yeah, I got Cejudo. When I'm gonna say late. I'm gonna say probably fourth. He might
I
get a
was about to
submission.
say, you two need to give some fucking predictions this week. We'll see who's better off. We need to make a tally board for this shit or something.
Yeah, probably. In the back.
What do you got for him?
I see Cejudo probably getting a nod on points, to be honest.
Points?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna probably be too much for Sterling on the ground, but I feel like Sterling's ground game is like good enough to not get caught in a submission by him.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing is
'Cause-
like I feel like Cejudo's gonna just like tire him out, and then once you're tired, you kind of set yourself into weird positions. And Cejudo will be like a little ape, just wrap something up.
I feel like if Cejudo was more like a jiu-jitsu and that type person, I'd probably take him for the sub, but because he's more like grappling and wrestling based, I do expect him to be able to grind Sterling down. I just don't see him finishing Sterling.
I mean, good
But-
prediction. Good prediction.
I just feel like Sterling's wise enough on the ground to not get choked, but probably
Yeah.
not wise enough to, well, not even wise enough, just won't be able to handle the pressure and pace that I feel that fucking Cejudo will come in with if he's serious about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it all depends on like how they come in. Like Sterling is pretty big for that weight, so that's another thing that I look into. I'm like, he's got to drain himself to a certain extent.
Oh,
then
for sure.
then
He'd
he's
walk around
Yeah,
it.
he's another person that fits into that whole category of like, there's surely not, because he's not old either. Like, I believe he's still, how old is he? Like 30s? Or like late 20s?
Late 20s, I'd say.
Exactly. So he's not very old. He's still got some growing to do. He's eventually not going to be able to make that weight.
Like, I don't know if you had your earphones, you know, that when we were talking before, but did you see that photo of Sterling next to Conor McGregor?
Yes, I did. I literally saw like a replay of that video. Like there's a video of Connor walking up next to him to take the photo. And Sterling literally says to him like, "Oh, you're huge." But Sterling still looks pretty big next to a fucking roided out McGregor. So
Yeah, fucking right. If he's huge. Like how do you see the fight going, Ned?
Oh, like I said before, I think like Cejudo's going to get the job done as long as he's got the focus to do it.
Do you see, like, what's your prediction? Do you see it like? Do you see it finish it like anyone getting the finish, or do you see it going to points, or?
I think, I don't know. See, here's the other thing that people haven't brought like into this conversation as well. Like, Sterling's not very good with his hands. Who has Cejudo spent a lot of time with over the past couple of years?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Just walks in there.
Oh fucking hell!
Fucking Krav Maga's the cunt. Comes in with a ponytail,
You never know, you know.
sunglasses, got the full like weird kimono on. Oh shit. Anyway, you made the point that he's been spending a lot of time with John Jones. Also been spending a lot of time with another black heavyweight, but not in a wrestling sense. Cejudo's spent like the last 3 years getting trained in boxing by Mike Tyson. I'm going to call it. I'm going to go also the fourth. I reckon he's going to knock him the fuck out.
Spark him, you reckon?
Yeah.
Electric.
Because I've seen Sterling hit the ground before.
He's an electrician by trade. Henry Cejudo, so.
He's what?
Electrician by trade.
Sparky, you reckon?
Yeah, yes. It doesn't spare time.
Zastrzylos.